The northern part of Croatian Adriatic is full of interesting places, often less popular with foreign tourists than the south of the country, especially if they are a bit away from the mainland. One such place is the island of Lošinj. It's kind of hidden behind the neighboring islands of Cres and Krk, so it takes you a bit longer to get there. But it's worth it. The two largest towns on the island are located in the southern part: Veli, or Big Lošinj, and Mali, or Small Lošinj. To be honest, they are both very small, with 1,000 in one and 7,500 people in the other one. It may confuse visitors, but Veli, or Big, is today smaller than Mali, or Small. But it wasn't always like that. Modern development of the island actually began in Veli Lošinj. Logically, with its location in a protected bay on the island, the population of Veli Lošinj has traditionally been involved in navigation and shipbuilding. The sailing ships of the local captains once sailed the world seas, and the captains had great reputation in their small town. Today, a museum located in a tower, which was once part of the city walls, reminds us of that part of history. From its top, you can see the parish church of St. Anthony the Abbot, and around, the whole of Veli Lošinj. Above the harbor, densely built houses catch your eye. Some look large and quite imposing. So let's take a closer look. The streets are interesting. The courtyards are protected by walls, so you feel like you are walking through some kind of labyrinth. It's clear that on the other side are private gardens, protected in the desire of a little privacy. But lush vegetation peeks over the edges of the walls. The climate here is suitable for both plants and people. In the 19th century, when tuberculosis was spreading in Europe, sick people often came to Mediterranean. Lošinj soon became one of the centers of health tourism. Several health clinics were built for children and adults, and they were coming from all over at that time still existing Habsburg monarchy. Among them were some very distinguished guests. For them, a couple of beautiful and expensive health resorts were built. Unfortunately, today they are mostly gone or stand in very neglected condition. For healthy guests, the Mignon guest house was built. One of the few buildings built in Veli Lošinj at that time exclusively for the purpose of accommodating guests. At first, guests most often stayed in the former captains' houses, which are in varying condition today, but some still receive guests. It is similar throughout the town. It is a mix of local residents and private rooms for rent. The closest big hotel is located about 10 minutes walk away. Then and now, the center of social life was the port. There are restaurants, cafes, and a very few shops here. The harbor is small, but the boats are here well protected from the wind. And when we look at the architecture, very little has changed here since the arrival of the first tourists. Today, the summer evenings are especially beautiful and relaxed. By the end of the 19th century, the number of guests on Lošinj was increasing every year. Sick and healthy both were coming, and another place on island was developing for tourism, Mali Lošinj. Located in a much larger bay, it was more practical for tourism. Small private hotels, cafes, and pastry shops were built along the waterfront, and there was enough space for steamboats to dock. Today, somewhat more modern ships and ferries dock, But when you arrive, you will find a very similar scene like the people who came 130, 140 years ago. The buildings along the waterfront are still similar, but today they are mostly not hotels. Larger and more modern hotels were built later in nearby bays. Another difference is that back then the main season was in winter. But with time, people were coming to enjoy swimming in the summer. The nearby Chikat Bay was discovered. This large, beautiful bay surrounded by forest was once shipyard for sailing ships. But when the time of sailing ships passed in the 19th century, this was perfect area for promenade along the sea and later beaches. Few hotels were built, and the members of the wealthy elite from around Central Europe built their holiday homes here. Some of the villas were unfortunately destroyed over time, mostly during World War II bombings. But some still stand today, surrounded by beautiful gardens. One of them, Villa Carolina, is also known for its elegant entrance to the sea. Old hotels have been modernized in the meantime. Alhambra, today a luxury hotel, is the one that has been used as a hotel from the beginning and still has the same name. Today, the island offers accommodation of all categories, from old villas, small guest houses, and private apartments to modern hotels. There is not much nightlife and crazy parties here. This is a place where people mostly come to enjoy peace and nature. If you like dolphins, Lošinj is perfect for a boat trip, because there are quite many of them in the surrounding sea. Local boat owners and travel agents offer dolphin watching boat rides. A friend of mine took her family to one such ride and made these great videos and photos with her mobile phone. Really nice memories from the summer vacation. You can also go to some excursions. For example, to nearby Osor. Today it is a small charming place at the meeting point between the island of Lošinj and the neighboring island of Cres. They are connected by this bridge that is pulled up 2 times a day to allow small boats to pass. In the meantime, it connects the islands, or it's used just for fun. In ancient times, this was a much larger and economically strong town. The ideal way to find out about that is with VR Walk. You will learn in a fun way what the town used to look like. If you have children, they will certainly find it interesting, and it's actually quite educational. Through town, you will also see sculptures by Croatian sculptors, all with music theme. Osor is known for its classical music festival, Osor's Musical Evenings, which has been held here every July for already 50 years. The festival primarily deals with Croatian classical music, so the city also pays tribute to Croatian composers, such as Jakov Gotovac, who sits on the square next to the church. Culture lovers will find another little gem in Mali Lošinj. It's the Apoksiomenos Museum. A small museum located in one of the buildings on the waterfront is dedicated to a single sculpture. It is an ancient Greek sculpture of an athlete from a 2nd or a 1st century BC. It was found by a diver in 1990s near Lošinj. The restoration took 6 years. You can find out about it by walking through the excellent modern exhibition of the museum. At the top, the sculpture itself awaits you. Photography is not allowed in the room, but the authors of the exhibition left small windows, through which anyone can take pictures. The rest of the time is ideal for relaxation. Swimming, walking, biking, wellness, you can choose. the islanders on Lošinj have not been fooled with overdevelopment. So there has been no excessive construction here, nor has the natural rocky coast been destroyed. That is why you can just easily jump into the sea wherever you want on Lošinj. But there are several small, beautiful beaches. One less known is south of Veli Lošinj, next to the village of Rovenjska. Once a fishing village, today it is an oasis of peace. If it is time to swim, the beach is just outside the village, protected from the wind by a pier, so you can swim there even when it is too windy on the nearby beaches. A large part of the island is now connected by a path along the sea, which is ideal for walking or cycling. There are many small uphills and downhills, so an electric bike is a good idea. You can rent them at the several places on the island. You can make a circle from Veli Lošinj to Mali Lošinj and on to Čikat Bay. You will pass by old villas, former fishermen's cottages, and modern hotels. The path is interesting even when it may not be the time for swimming, and the views are really nice. Particularly beautiful place is at the entrance to the Čikat Bay, next to the small church of the Annunciation of the Blessed Virgin Mary. This is where Čikat Bay exits to the open sea. You can relax on one of the benches or in a nearby cafe, and it's a perfect place to enjoy the sunset. In the time of the sailing ships, this used to be a place of farewell. This is exactly where the wives of sailors and captains would stand to wave their white handkerchiefs at the departing ships. Years would pass before they met again, and many never returned. The monument Addio, or goodbye, reminds us of this today. And I managed to capture it on one windy day in late August with this beautiful sunset. And this is Addio from Lošinj. I hope you like the film and that it may have inspired some of you to visit. If so, please press the like button. Thank you. Greetings from Daria.